Part 1. Introduction to Syncing. The syncing process is how MovePoint communicates with the In-Home Estimator app and vice versa. Whenever the survey schedule changes within MovePoint, the app needs to be made aware. If a quote is updated within the app, the changes need to be submitted into MovePoint. We recommend syncing at the beginning of each day and submitting changes made in the app immediately upon completing a survey. Part 2. Retrieving from the MovePoint calendar. The sync page is where you can retrieve any upcoming surveys from MovePoint's calendar. To get to the sync page from any area in the app, use the global navigation menu, which can be opened by swiping to the left of your screen or tapping the arrow in the top right side of the screen. Tap the Quick Sync button to begin the retrieval process. If you ever see this message, it means you've made changes in the app that you haven't submitted to MovePoint. Syncing now without submitting will delete those changes forever. Watch Part 3, Section C, Submitting into MovePoint, to learn more about this. Once you're done syncing, tap on the View Walkthrough Calendar link to go to the calendar. Here you can see any scheduled in-home surveys. Tap on a day and select a survey to open that quote. Part 3. Modifying and submitting a quote. You will notice that when you open a quote that it's just like Step 1 of the quoting process within MovePoint. You will want to ensure that you have either an email address or phone number entered. Otherwise, the app will not be able to submit the quote. To move on to gathering inventory, you can either tap the Next button in the top left or tap on the inventory in the global navigation menu. You will notice additional options are now available in the global navigation menu now that the quote has been opened. Part 3, Section A, Entering Inventory. There are 3 ways to enter inventory: the help codes, the numpad, and custom items. To open the help codes, tap the button in the bottom left. This will display a category list of your inventory items in MovePoint. Tap a category to expand it, and then an individual item. The item will be added to the current room's inventory. To learn more about rooms, watch Part 3, Section B, Understanding Rooms. To open the numpad, tap the button in the bottom right. Here you can key in terms using their inventory codes. Enter the code first and then the quantity. You can add the item by using the equals key or plus key. If the item already exists in the inventory, the equals key will override the quantity, whereas the plus key will add to the existing quantity. This way you don't have to remember and mentally add quantities during your walkthrough. To add items that aren't already a part of your regular inventory list, use the Custom Items button at the bottom of the page. From here you can enter the name of the item and the app will autocomplete, much like MovePoint does with 901 codes. By selecting an autocomplete option, the values for weight, cubic feet, and price will be populated based on averages gathered from years of data. These values can be modified by tapping the field and changing the information. Tap Submit to add the custom item to the inventory. To completely remove an item from the inventory, press and hold your finger on that item. After the item is highlighted, you can select more items to remove by tapping them. Once you've highlighted all the items you want to remove, tap the Remove Selected button. Part 3, Section B, Understanding Rooms. At this point, there is a small inventory list in the room titled Room 1. Unlike the main MovePoint application, the app allows you to separate inventory by room. To change the name of a room, tap on the room name and either select one of the available options or manually type the room name. Then tap Save Changes. To add additional rooms, either tap the orange Add Room button or tap the plus button in the top left. Whichever room has the white checkmark highlighted is the one inventory will be added to. Part 3, Section C, Submitting into MovePoint. Now that you have gathered a full inventory for your move, you're now ready to submit the quote back into MovePoint. In order for this communication with MovePoint to work, you need to be connected to the internet. To submit the quote, open the global navigation menu and tap Submit. The submission should only take a few seconds. Once completed, a success message will appear and a button to open that quote in MovePoint becomes available. From here, you can adjust pricing, email estimates, and schedule moves just as you would on your computer. Part 4. Additional features. There are some additional features within the In-Home Estimator that you will want to use to get the most out of your application. Part 4. Section A. Inventory by Room PDF. When a quote is submitted back into MovePoint from the app, the inventory from each room is consolidated into one inventory list. However, the app also sends an email to the email address entered during the setup process, with an attached PDF breaking down the quote's inventory by room. In addition to giving an inventory list for each room, the PDF can also include notable inventory items that are not being moved. By double tapping an item in the inventory page, the item will be highlighted red. This means the item is not being moved and therefore will not be submitted into MovePoint. This item will, however, be included in the Inventory by Room PDF and will be designated as an item not being moved. If at any point during your survey you want to look at the inventory list as MovePoint will receive the quote, meaning without the room's breakdown or the items marked as not being moved, use the View Summary option in the top left menu of the inventory page. Part 4, Section B. Paired codes. Another great feature that can speed up your data entry is paired codes. The app allows you to pair items so that they can be added simultaneously. Once the pairs have been configured and the paired codes have been turned on, the paired items will be added together, saving you time. This is ideal for packing material items that you want to pair with packing services. To configure pair codes, navigate to the Settings page from the Global Navigation menu and then to the Paired Code settings. To create a pair, find the first item in the list on the left. Tap it, and it will appear in the table on the right. Next, find the item's pair. Tap it, and a pair will be set. Repeat this process until you've set up all the pairs you wish to have in the app. After pairing the codes, navigate to the Inventory page. In the menu in the top left, there is an Add Paired Codes option. Tap this to turn on paired codes. As long as this option is highlighted orange, your paired item quantities will increase and decrease simultaneously.